The dim light of the kitchen barely touched the calendar hanging crookedly on the wall. A red circle marked Day 7, stark against the white. Around it, a silent testament to the past week, lay a scattering of empty chip bags, crumpled candy wrappers, and a greasy pizza box. The person standing there, shoulders slumped, stared at the date as if it held all the answers, or perhaps all the failures. Her reflection in the darkened window showed a face etched with something beyond simple tiredness. It was despair, quiet and deep. A harsh, disembodied voice cut through the silence, echoing in her mind. "You've tried this 100 times. You'll fail again." The words were cold, familiar, a constant companion in her attempts to change. They usually crushed her, sending her back to the comfort of another snack, another endless scroll on her phone. But this time, something was different. Slowly, deliberately, she began to move. Her hands, surprisingly steady, gathered the wrappers, stuffing them into the pizza box. The grease stains on the counter were wiped away with a paper towel, a methodical motion that spoke of a quiet resolve. The act was almost ritualistic, a cleansing. There was no anger, no self-pity in her movements, just a calm efficiency. The voice in her head persisted, a low hum of doubt, but she didn't flinch. Her gaze drifted to a corner of the kitchen where a jump rope lay coiled. It had been there for weeks, a forgotten promise. She picked it up, the weight of the handles surprisingly solid in her palm. Her eyes, which moments before had held a deep sadness, now showed a flicker of something else. Not happiness, not excitement, but a quiet, almost steely determination. The despair hadn't vanished completely, but it had receded, replaced by a nascent spark of defiance. It was a silent rebellion against the voice, against the wrappers, against the expectation of failure. Sometimes, the biggest victories are won in silence. The scene shifted, a rapid-fire montage of blurred movements. The jump rope blurred into action, then a figure on the living room floor, pushing up and down. Weights, makeshift ones like water bottles, lifted and lowered. The air was thick with effort, but the specific details were indistinct, a whirlwind of motion and sweat. It was intense, raw, and clearly happening within the confines of a home. The sequence ended abruptly, focusing tight on a digital scale. The numbers flickered, teasingly close, but then the image cut, leaving the final digit obscured, a mystery hanging in the air. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. We want to hear from you, to know who's on this journey with us. Every single comment, every subscriber fuels this community. So hit that subscribe button, drop your location below, and get ready for the rest of the story. That moment of quiet defiance on Day 7 wasn't born out of nowhere. It was the culmination of months, maybe even years, of a slow, steady drift away from herself. To understand that flicker of determination, we need to go back to the daily grind that led to those crumpled wrappers and that obscured scale reading. Life had become a relentless cycle. My days started early, rushed and frantic, swallowed by long hours at a job that demanded everything. By the time I stumbled back home, the thought of cooking a healthy meal felt like climbing Mount Everest. So, takeout became the default. A quick stop at the corner deli for a greasy sandwich or a call to the pizza place. My small apartment living room, once a space for quiet relaxation, slowly transformed into a battleground of fatigue and convenience. The kitchen, perpetually messy, always had a stack of unwashed dishes and the faint smell of last night's indulgence. After a stressful day, the comfort of unhealthy snacks was too easy to reach for, a temporary balm for a tired mind. There were no fancy gym memberships, no elaborate diet plans, just the daily grind wearing me down, one skipped workout, one extra cookie at a time. The signs of this slow decline weren't dramatic at first, but they accumulated, chipping away at my confidence. One morning, I pulled on my favorite pair of jeans, the ones that always made me feel good. They wouldn't budge past my thighs. It wasn't just snug, it was a complete refusal. I tugged, I twisted, I even held my breath, but they mocked me from the floor. That quiet frustration in the morning, a tiny crack in my self-perception, became a regular occurrence. Then came the breathlessness. Carrying groceries up just one flight of stairs to my apartment became a full-blown cardio session. I'd arrive at my door, winded, my chest tight, my heart pounding as if I'd run a marathon. It was alarming, a stark reminder that my body wasn't keeping up, that even simple tasks were becoming a struggle. I started avoiding mirrors, especially full-length ones. I'd catch a glimpse of my reflection sometimes, a stranger looking back, and quickly turn away. It was easier to pretend the changes weren't happening if I didn't have to see them. This avoidance bled into my social life. Friends would invite me for hikes, for walks in the park, or even just a casual stroll downtown. I'd always find an excuse. Too busy, not feeling great, maybe next time. The truth was, I felt self-conscious, unwilling to be seen struggling, or simply uncomfortable in my own skin. It was easier to decline, to stay home, to retreat further into my comfort zone, which ironically was becoming less and less comfortable. These external signs were just symptoms of deeper emotional cracks. The self-talk had become brutal. Every morning, looking at myself, the voice in my head would whisper criticisms about my appearance, my lack of discipline, my inability to stick to anything. "You're so lazy. You'll never change. Look at you." It was a constant barrage of negativity. The procrastination loop was endless. "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow became next week became next month. The promise was always there, but the action never materialized. Food, once a source of enjoyment, had turned into a coping mechanism, a quick fix for stress, boredom, or sadness. The comfort eating cycle was a vicious one, a temporary pleasure followed by guilt and more negative self-talk. And the most noticeable change was the loss of energy. Simple daily tasks felt draining. My motivation plummeted, leaving me feeling sluggish, both physically and mentally. It was a slow erosion, a quiet surrender, until that desperate day 7 arrived. That desperate day 7 arrived, not as a sudden storm, but as the quiet culmination of all those small frustrations and whispered criticisms. The turning point wasn't a sudden flash of insight or a dramatic movie moment. It was much simpler, much more human. I was scrolling through old photos on my phone, pictures from years ago, and I saw a version of myself I barely recognized. Vibrant, energetic, happy. A fleeting comment from my sister earlier that week echoed in my mind. "You seem a little tired lately." It wasn't meant to be hurtful, but it landed right on the raw nerve of my self-doubt. That night, lying in bed, I made a quiet, internal decision, not a promise to overhaul my entire life, but a commitment to something small, something achievable. 7 days, just 7 days. I wouldn't join a gym, I wouldn't buy expensive supplements. I would use what I had, right here, in my cramped apartment. The jump rope I'd bought years ago and never used, the floor space in my living room, my own body weight. The goal wasn't perfection. It was simply to start, to build a tiny bridge back to myself. The first 3 days were a brutal awakening. My muscles screamed in protest, a symphony of aches I hadn't felt in years. Simple squats felt like climbing a mountain. Push-ups were a laughable attempt at defying gravity. My body, accustomed to comfort, rebelled fiercely. Cravings hit hard, especially in the evenings when the old routine of reaching for a bag of chips was almost automatic. The voice of doubt, the one that said, "You've tried this 100 times. You'll fail again," was loud and insistent. But this time, something was different. The commitment to those 7 days, that quiet promise I'd made to myself, held firm. Finishing a workout, even a clumsy one, felt like a small victory. Resisting the urge to grab a sugary snack felt like defiance. Each tiny win chipped away at the ingrained habit of giving up. By day 4, a subtle shift began. The exercises were still hard, but they weren't impossible. The muscle soreness was still there, but it was less an angry roar and more a tired hum. My body was slowly, grudgingly, starting to remember what it felt like to move. There was a lightness in my step, a slight increase in my energy levels. My mood, which had been a constant grey, started to show hints of brighter colours. I wasn't aiming for perfection, just consistency. Each completed day built a small but solid foundation of accomplishment. The feeling wasn't about losing weight yet. It was about reclaiming a sense of control, of proving to myself that I could follow through. Day 7 arrived, the final push. The workout was intense, but my body responded. I felt stronger, more coordinated, more alive than I had in years. The physical and mental strength I'd built over these short days was palpable. My movements were more fluid, my breathing steadier. When I finally stepped onto the scale, the number was noticeably lower, a realistic but significant change. But more important than the number was the person looking back at me from the mirror. The avoidance was gone. Instead, there was a quiet confidence, a sense of self-respect that had been missing for too long. The person in the mirror was no longer a stranger. She was me, returning. This wasn't a magic fix, and I knew it. It was the beginning, a small but powerful step on a longer journey. The video isn't about unrealistic promises, but about practical, achievable efforts. Simple home workouts, small adjustments to meals, choosing an apple over a cookie, drinking more water, moving my body for just 20 minutes a day. Real results come from consistent, honest effort. It's about embracing a healthier lifestyle, not just chasing a number on a scale. It's about finding that quiet determination within. Sometimes all it takes is 7 days to redefine your possibilities.